Alright everybody, welcome back to Conquer and Commander. Today we're going to be looking at a game featuring my Aurelia, the Warleader deck. For the complete deck list, go to puremtgo.com and check it out under my article series Conquer and Commander, or hopefully I'll have a link to the deck list in the video description. This is an early version of the deck, so there's going to be some cards in it that you probably won't see in the deck list, but let's just take a look at my opponents in this game. First up, we've got Dralnu, Lich Lord, Dimir Control, likes to use his graveyard. Almost every Dralnu deck I see has a bunch of like extra turn spells in it. Sliver Queen, tons of slivers. Sometimes it's just 5-color control. And then Kamahl, Pit Fighter. I never see this guy played, so props to this guy for playing him. A 6/1 hasty dude for 6 mana is always fun and can do 3 points of direct damage as well. My initial hand only has 1 land in it. Relentless Assault is a card that I initially wanted to put in the deck just as a backup to Aurelia, but I ended up taking it out. And then I think I took out Mordant Dragon as well just because the mana cost was a little rough with the 3 red. So let's see what I do here. I'm pretty sure I send it back. I do. And there we go. Alright, let's take a look here. Slayer Stronghold, Hero of Oxid Ridge, Falcon Wrath Marauders, which is just a fun, goofy card that I've always wanted to play. And I figured this is the best deck to put it in. And I keep this hand even though I have no colored mana. What the hell was I thinking? I don't know. Oh no, I had a Plains. That's right. This is my play space right here. It's the Sacred Foundry art. So I did have a Plains, but I've got a bunch of red stuff in my hand, and I'm just hoping to draw into some colored mana. Oh yeah, and then the Sliver Queen guy says it's his first EDH deck that he's played, so good for him for joining in. I draw Gisela. Gisela is a beast in this deck. Everybody else is hitting their land drops. And somebody gets duressed. It was Dralnu. Dralnu gets dressed, and his hand contains Halimar Depths, Mistvein Border Post, Entomb, Diabolic Tutor, Swamp, and Sudden Spoiling. Sudden Spoiling is a good card. It just hoses some creature-based decks. And Coalition Relic is dumped. Duress is a card that you don't see played in multiplayer games, but it is good at what it does. Right, Darksteel Ingot for Kamahl. I get a fetch land. It's Arid Mesa, and that's going to help me out with my mana issues. A little bit Soul Ring for Dralnu, and then Mistvein Border Post, hard cast. Sliver Queen plays Steel Form Sliver. This is the new M14 slivers. I hate the art direction for this, but it's not up to me, obviously. Kamahl plays Shard Phoenix, which is awesome with Dralnu out there because it can hurt Dralnu a lot. I sacrifice my Arid Mesa for Sacred Foundry. Hey, there's a land tax. Awesome. But the problem is that I don't want to really miss a land drop. However, I play the land tax and a land, and I play a sword. So what I'm hoping is that Dralnu hits his land, or Kamahl hits his land. Well, Dralnu does not, unfortunately. I get attacked with the Sliver. Sad times. Shard Phoenix, and Kamahl does hit his land drop. He fissures the Sliver, and Sliver player gets attacked with Shard Phoenix. Okay. So land tax works. I'm able to get the land that I need. And I play the Marauder. Okay, so initially Curse of the Stalked Prey was in this deck. To sort of serve as, hey, you should attack this guy. Kind of like how Gisela forces people to attack elsewhere. Curse of Stalked Prey was supposed to do the same thing. And I ended up taking it out just because I did use it, and it worked well once against an Arkham player. I got everybody to attack him when people were just kind of sitting around doing nothing. But, you know, once that player dies, the curse just doesn't do anything anymore. So I just wanted something that was more useful all around. I end up attacking the Sliver player with my Marauders. And the Marauders grow. So, Dralnu, Diabolic Tutors. And you can see here, I'm like, hey, donation. He's like, no, I'm not doing damnation. Instead, it's Dreamborn Muse, which is going to fill up everybody's graveyard, including Dralnu's. So that's an interesting way to fill up his own graveyard. The Sliver player busts out something that's not a Sliver. Colonian Hydra, which is all of a sudden really scary, because it can get real big real quick. So Kamahl plays Molten Primordial to steal everything. And the good thing about this is that the Hydra, when he attacks, he doubles the counters on the Marauders. So the Marauders are going to get bigger. Unfortunately, all these dudes are coming after me. So I'm down to 9. But I'm able to use the land tax again to kind of thin my deck out and get more lands. The Marauders are 8/8, right? So at this point, since I'm only at 9 life and everybody else is above 36, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go the Vengeance route, and I'm going to try and hit Kamahl. So first, what I'm going to do is Boros Charm the Marauders to give them double strike. Then I'm going to put the sword on them. So he's a 10/10 double striker. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the stronghold on him. So he's going to be a 12/10 double striker. And I go after the Kamahl player. And that also helps the Marauders get bigger too. So at this point they're 16/14. It's really just a 14/14, and I knocked Kamahl down to 10. So even though I'm at 7 because I had to use the Ancient Tomb, it's a good amount of damage for just one turn. I end up having to discard some stuff. I discard the Curse, of Plains, and that was it. So Malicious Pride is just a goofy card that I really wanted to use, and it worked out alright in this deck as well. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Dralnu comes out to play, and the Dreamborn Muse attacks the Sliver player. It's ballsy to do that with the Shard Phoenix out there, because he's going to have to sacrifice 2 permanents, but I'm assuming he's okay, and he already knows what he's going to get rid of. So the Sliver player plays 1,000 Lashes. So this is obviously kind of a draft deck, but you know, it works well, and it hoses the Dralnu player, or the Dralnu himself at least. I love Dralnu's art, by the way. His art is awesome. And then he attacks with the Hydra, and the Hydra is now 16/16 because it already got an attack in. So Dralnu's down to 24. The Hydra is something to worry about, I'll be honest. So Kamahl plays Scourge of Gyre Reach, which is actually a decent card, especially if you face like a token strategy or something like that. It's not horrible, but it's only a 7/7 when it comes out. And then he plays Ingot Chewer and gets rid of my sword. Sad times there. He evokes the Ingot Chewer. Oh well. So here's the deal. Shard Phoenix is a blocker for Kamahl right here. No blockers for Slivers, Overlord, and Dralnu has no blockers, but I assume he has some sort of answer. I use land tax again to get another 3 lands, thin out my deck, get rid of some mountains and stuff. Oh, and I think I drew a mountain too. Awesome. So once again give the Marauders Vigilance. And I attack the Sliver player just because the Hydra is going to be 32/32 next turn, which is real big. And so the Overlord drops down to 20, or the Sliver Queen player. I keep saying Overlord, but I meant Sliver Queen. And the Marauders are 14/14. That's awesome. They're so big. And I don't do anything. That's interesting. Oh yeah, because I've got wing shards, and I'm hoping that if the Hydra comes after me, I can use the wing shards. Alright. Entomb to get Sheoldred into his graveyard. And then body double. I was expecting Jin-Gitaxias. Alright, I gotta pause real quick, guys. Alright. Sorry for that brief interruption. So he used Entomb to put Sheoldred in his graveyard, and then body double to copy Sheoldred. And that's going to deal with the Colonian Hydra. It's also going to deal with my Falkenrath Marauders, which makes me sad, but... Well, yeah, so then... Shard Phoenix got sacrificed, so that Dralnu would get hit. That doesn't prevent the Hydra from having to be sacrificed. And then Kamahl sacrifices a card, but Siege King Commander is going to be able to keep some of his stuff out there by giving Goblin Fodder. And then he Arc Trails Dralnu and Sliver Queen, and the Primordial attacks Dralnu, who does not block. My Marauders die. But I've got Slayer Stronghold, and I'm going to Austere Command to get rid of all the big critters and the artifacts, because I didn't want him getting crap out of his graveyard with Sheoldred. Increasing ambition to search some cards up. Sliver Queen does nothing, still a little mana screwed. Kamahl comes out to play. Then attacks me. Luckily I have wing shards. So I'm still at 5 life right now. I'm still alive. And Kamahl has to be sacrificed. There's True Conviction. But I'm not going to cast that. Instead I'm going to cast Gisela, so that any damage that comes my way gets halved. She's just out there for defense right now. Windfall occurs. Bam! Getting rid of some good stuff, but giving me some good stuff in return. Sliver Queen plays Fire Shrieker and gets an island. Kamahl plays... What does Kamahl play? Something. Come on. A Red Sun Zenith targeting the Sliver player. Now, admittedly, he could have Red Sun Zenith me and taken me out right there. Oh, no, he couldn't have, because Gisela would have cut it in half. But he could have done me for almost enough to kill me. Instead, he hits the Sliver Queen pretty hard and then attacks her with the Goblin, so she's at 1 right now. Alright, so I draw Mirran Crusader. I've decided, you know what, I'm just going to cast Aurelia. And I'm going to pump somebody with the Slayer Stronghold. I pump Gisela. So I've got enough basically to kill 2 players with both of these guys, and Gisela out there right now. Unfortunately, he congregates. The Sliver player goes up to 11. But I'm able to take out Kamahl. And I'm able to take out Dralnu. And I wait to see what the Sliver Queen player can do. And he Archaeomancers to get Hive Stirrings. To make a couple of tokens, but it's not going to do anything because my guys fly. So that's that. This is a fun little game. I got hit hard pretty early, but I managed to stick around. Hope you enjoyed it. Alright, thanks.